everybody, Matt French here at the University Career Center doing an Instagram Live on one of our awesome employer partners who continuously supports us and supports you and alumni getting hired. We have 2 alumni actually from Fastenal today. Hi guys, how's it going?
Good, nice to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you too. So real quick, I'd love for you just to introduce yourself. What's your name, your job title at Fastenal? You're both alumni, so what year you graduated and what your major was?
Sure. My name is Mark Peabody. I graduated from UNCC in 2016. I started out with Fastenal as an intern my junior year.
Oh, nice.
After I graduated, I was offered a full-time position in outside sales, and now I've been promoted to a general manager.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Sure. Lucas Santiago. I graduated in 2018 with a degree in finance, and my current title at Fastenal is vending developmental support.
Okay, so based on each of your job titles, let's start. Kind of tell us, what do you do on a day?
So daily basis, I'm basically responsible for the sales and operations of the branch we have in Mount Holly. So basically just get all the product to the customers on time, keep everybody happy, employees, customers.
Keeping those smiles on the faces?
Oh yeah, the boss.
There you go. How about you?
So vending developmental support works a little different. So in our district, we have, I believe, 16 stores and then 4 on-site locations. So I actually travel around to all the stores in the district and work specifically with our vending program. And so what that entails is me going, working with the employees at the branches, making sure everything's running smoothly with that, working with the customers to make sure they're happy and they get the product they need and everything's squared away with the software, the hardware. So I'm kind of all over the place. I'm not really just in one store.
Oh, nice. So just to kind of show students and alumni and our followers, what is Fastenal?
So Fastenal, we're a Fortune 500 company. We're an industrial distribution company. We do a very high level of service. We manage a lot of customers' inventory for them. Lucas spoke a little bit about on-site, and that's where we actually deploy a Fastenal salesman or representative within a company's manufacturing plant to manage their part flow.
Okay. So it's a lot of more, is it business to business, business to consumer? What's kind of the sales structure around Fastenal?
So we do sell to the public, but primarily business to business, yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I think sometimes students will see like the B2B or B2C, and it's not always clear what that is. So B2B, what would that mean as far as the student didn't know what that was?
So business to business interaction, you just have to build a relationship with the customer and kind of sustain them in their manufacturing process or development, whatever it may be.
Nice. Yeah. So, Lucas, tell me, what do you like working about Fastenal?
Well, with my position currently at this moment, I really like the freedom that I have in that I travel so much. You do have to be pretty responsible in what you're doing and staying on top of things because I don't necessarily have someone, right like overhead of me, like seeing me. Whereas if I worked in a store and he was my general manager, I would see him all day, so he's kind of keeping on me. But having the freedom of going around, just knowing what I need to do and getting it done, I like that. I like doing something different every day. So by me being able to travel and be at a different store, working with different groups of people all the time, I like that. I'm a people's person. I like talking. So just being able to work with as many people as I do is a good time.
Yeah, keeping it kind of like flexible, running around. Nice. What you man?
I like being on the road, going out to see the customers. Sometimes I like sitting at my desk. It just depends on what day it is, But I do like that I can do either or. So.
Yeah, and that adds a little bit of like flavor to the job. Yeah. Whenever you're like, okay, I get to relax a little bit more today, and I have to drive.
Yeah.
I'm really bad with directions, okay. So whenever I'm like having to meet someone in uptown, I'm like, oh god, here we go. So that's like, what area do you guys cover?
So our branch covers a little bit into Charlotte on the southeastern side. As far down south as like Gastonia, Bessemer City, and then Dallas on one end. So it's a pretty big territory. Probably about 2 hours across drive time.
Oh wow! So a lot of customers.
Oh yeah.
And then, so you're both UNCC alums, business admin and finance, right? Okay. So tell me, how did you first get connected with Fastenal and their internship program?
So I actually had a friend that worked as an intern at Fastenal, and he referred me whenever I was a student here. And prior to that, I had never heard of the company. But once I started working there, I loved it.
Nice.
Been with them since, like I
you've been there for a hot minute then, okay.
4 years, yeah.
Cool. And it says a lot about a company when someone actually sticks with it. I think there's a misconception that like, oh, everyone changes their careers like every 2 years or whatever. We're actually finding like, younger students, younger alumni going out are actually sticking with employers longer if they have that good company culture.
It does, and what really helps as well is we only promote internally. So
oh, cool.
There's no outside hires coming in to take those higher level positions.
So if a student wants to get in with Fastenal, I think that's another thing that maybe undergrads don't realize is that they're like, okay, I graduated, now I want to go directly in and make that really big salary, but
right.
You have to start out somewhere, right?
Right.
So the internship program is a great place to start there.
Absolutely.
And looking even at Fastenal and their company culture, I'm really amazed about how they have a really positive company culture, how people stick with them for so long. The recruiters, always the best recruiters we work with. Ryan comes to a lot of our events like career fairs, things like that. You guys support programming here at UNC Charlotte. So what is maybe one of your favorite things that Fastenal does? Do they give out in the community? Do you have volunteer hours? Do you guys get to do team building events? What's kind of that look like?
So we do, every year we have an employee expo, and that's where we send around 2,000 employees from across the country down to Orlando in December, so it's still reasonably warm
there you go.
Down there, and we get to meet with each other and just kind of learn about other people's experiences within the company and meet some of our suppliers as well.
Nice. Cool. How about you, Lucas?
Well, I know we also do a few things too. Where I know that we sponsor several youth sport teams as well as some Olympians. So I know that Fastenal, and then we have the NASCAR that we sponsor.
True.
17 car, yeah. So Fastenal's real big into kind of like the sports scene, sponsoring stuff like that, being active, and I like that part of it.
Cool. So if a student wanted to get involved with Fastenal, and if you guys have any questions, definitely feel free to post a comment. Also be sure to follow them on here on Instagram, Fastenal_company. You can learn more about their opportunities, check out their careers page. That's a great way to connect with them. Make sure you follow them because that's a great way to learn about some of this company culture stuff, the internships that they're hiring for. They'll also be at our part-time job fair. They'll also be at our spring career and internship fair happening on Valentine's Day. So you can fall in love with Fastenal. So whenever you are looking for maybe someone to join your team, right? Who would be an ideal team member for you guys to kind of jump in? What's the characteristic you're looking for? Those types of things.
So we like people that are self-motivated and independent, basically, that can also follow instruction. If that makes sense. You have to know how much you don't know.
Totally. Don't come in swinging your fist, being like, I know everything.
Right.
Totally.
And there's a lot of moving parts within Fastenal, especially when working in a store. It's not like we have specific departments set aside for each thing. When you're an employee of Fastenal, you learn everything, which is a great job right out of school because you get that experience of you know how to do all of these different things that come together to create a business. And so instead of just going into accounts receivable and you learn how to do that one thing, whereas finding a job after that, it's like, well, that's all I know. You work for Fastenal starting out, you learn all of it.
Yeah.
So it's a really nice experience and getting to learn that. So, and especially students right out of college, being in college, you kind of have to have that same mindset. You're all over the place. You got to be good at doing everything. And so that translates really well into coming into the Fastenal company. And that's why Ryan does a lot with the Career Center and stuff here, because he likes getting guys that have that mindset and are able to focus on more than one thing at a time and excel at it.
Totally. Yeah, Ryan's told me a bit about the training program within the internship and how there's also this continuous way for you all to continually professionally develop and all that fun stuff. Can you tell us a little bit about the internship program and the professional development and what that kind of looks like from the internship perspective?
Sure. So every employee that's an intern is required to take a certain set of trainings, both online and classroom. And then as you develop within the company, that's when you start to travel more for trainings. Like me, myself, I've been to Atlanta several times,
Nice.
Minnesota, Florida, like I said, as well. So
I love Minnesota. It's so pretty.
It really is.
It is nice getting to travel to work when you get to go to different locations and you're like, sweet, I go do my work and then I can go explore the city a little bit and do some fun stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of OSHA certifications that employees, even part-time interns, need to take.
Nice.
Just a little bit of everything.
Cool. And remember, if you have any questions, feel free to let us know. So when you're looking kind of at the internship program, do you guys know the class levels that Fastenal usually looks for? They're looking for juniors, they're looking for seniors, that type of stuff.
So we'll really hire at any level. I think you have to be 18 years old, but obviously if someone's closer to graduation and they want to start a career, that would be a better time for them.
Yeah, kind of allows them to, then when they graduate, to kind of flow into the Fastenal family. Oh, that should be hashtag Fastenal family. We should start that. So when you're thinking back about being UNCC grads, what do you feel like helped you the most to get to where you are now? Whether that be a class, something you attended, someone you connected with, anything like that?
Well, I know for me, so I got involved with Fastenal through several friends that I had made on campus that had also worked at Fastenal. I didn't know anything about the company. They kind of introduced it to me and stuff. But I know six of my friends or so that were in attendance here that also worked at Fastenal. So I know a lot of people come out of business school here and kind of look towards that, but also a lot of people have never heard of it. But that was kind of the big thing for me, was knowing so many people part of it. Well, it can't be that terrible of a job if this many people are all taking part of it and recommending it. So that was a big thing for me. And then also, just like I said earlier, just the kind of college experience as a whole. The classes and everything help, but just the discipline that you learn in school, being able to focus on so many things, really carries over well.
Totally. Cool. How about you? What really sets you up to kind of get where you are?
I think college, especially UNC Charlotte, just really teaches you to be self-sufficient, make it to class on time, get your assignments turned in on time. You're working with a broad variety of different people, and you do that especially at Fastenal with your different customers.
Totally. Yeah, I always tell employers, I feel like, so UNC Charlotte, we have one of the largest percentages of first-gen college students as well. And I always tell them, I'm like, if you're looking for students who have problem-solving, grit, determination, that's what we got. And I think Fastenal realizes that. They hire so many of our grads, and it's cool getting to see UNCC alumni coming. Again, make sure you follow them, Fastenal_company, to learn more about their careers, their internships. They'll be on campus. They do a bunch of stuff. Ryan comes here a lot. Ryan's one of the lead recruiters. He's an awesome guy. He's always super engaging, super nice. And I think to kind of finish it off, one thing I really want students to know too is they hear the word sales sometimes, and they're like, but what they don't realize is all the opportunity and what sales is. So how would you describe sales? What was something that maybe surprised you that you enjoy about it?
So we live in a community nowadays that's just so advertisement and sales adverse. It's almost better to not try to push people too hard in your direction. The best thing you can really do is just provide them with a high level of service when they ask for it.
Totally.
And let them know what kind of value we offer their company. So it's not like you're making cold calls every single day, all day.
Yeah.
You're mainly growing the sales within the existing business base and servicing people and just trying to help them the best you can.
Totally.
And normally, when you show that value, they want to buy more stuff from you.
Yeah, so I know when I first interviewed for the job, I still didn't really know exactly what I was getting into. I just knew I needed a job. My friend said it was good, so I was like, I'm going to go for it. And the word sales came up, and I was kind of like, I don't really want to go knocking on people's doors. Because that's kind of the image that comes to mind when you hear sales is cold.
The old school vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, exactly. And so you immediately kind of get turned on. But what I quickly learned in Fastenal is that it's nothing like that. It is sales, but it's sales through service. So what you're really doing, like Mark said, is you're building that relationship with your customer, and you're being there for them. It's like, hey, I have a problem. What can you do for me? And you're helping them fix that problem. And in doing so, the sales come, the business just comes. So it's not really, I need to figure out how to sell this. It's just, I need to figure out how to help my customer and how to solve this problem for them. And when you look at it with that mindset, it's completely different, and it's put a whole new definition on sales for me since I started this company.
Yeah, I love that, because I think what students don't realize sometimes is sales is helping people, right? What I do is sales, going out to employer. I'm selling UNC Charlotte students to employers and why they should come here. But I'm also helping them fill their recruitment goals, get them great talent, right? So that's a great way to look at it, is like it's helping people. And I think being authentic and, like you said, really making sure you're helping your customers, you're helping them with their needs. That's what sales is. I wish there was a word we could come up with. Helpers. Just call them helpers. Maybe that would like sell more to students. And I think, that's one thing that I really encourage students to do is reach out to alumni, talk to alumni who are doing different types of careers. If you're checking out Fastenal, look up people who work at Fastenal on LinkedIn. Ask them questions. Are you guys on LinkedIn?
Yes.
Aha. So if you want to share with current students who maybe want to reach out and ask you more about what you do for Fastenal and ask more questions on LinkedIn, if you want to tell them your full name so they can look you up, that'd be awesome.
Sure. My name is Mark Peabody.
So Mark Peabody.
And Lucas Santiago.
Lucas Santiago. Just search their name, and then you can search like Fastenal on the end of it, or Charlotte, North Carolina, or you can go to the UNC Charlotte career page or college page and look under alumni and search for them there as well. Any parting words of wisdom about Fastenal, about being a young professional that you'd like for students or other alumni to know?
I would say it's a great company. There's only been meaningful experience for me so far working at Fastenal. And like I said, they promote internally, so the sky's the limit.
Nice.
Some of the guys that are in the highest level positions at the company have been there for 30 years. Started at the bottom, worked their way up.
That's what you got to do, right? That working up.
Oh, yeah.
And I originally was trying to get a job somewhere like in a bank because I was a finance major, and all of that fell through, and Fastenal was just a backup plan because I needed a job and someone told me about it, and I'm absolutely thrilled that everything fell through with the bank and that I ended up at the company that I'm at because I couldn't really imagine myself anywhere else.
And that's awesome.
It's a great company.
That's awesome because a lot of people's career paths are not linear, right? We go up, down, turn around, fall on our faces, get thrown around a little bit, and you end up, I feel like a lot of times, I'm a big believer in this thing called chaos theory of career advising, where the world just kind of moves, there's a lot of stuff moving around, and you randomly bump into stuff that kind of creates your career path. Your classes, your people you encounter, things that might fall through, things that might go right. And I think it's cool to kind of hear where you guys are now. Hopefully you'll be able to come back to campus with Brian and you can maybe do a little bit of recruiting, meet some students.
Absolutely.
Definitely, again, make sure to follow Fastenal_company to follow them on Instagram. Check out their website to learn more about their careers. Come to some career events, either the Spring Career and Internship Fair happening February 14th in the Student Activity Center, and maybe you'll get to see these cool alumni hanging around. I'm about to go take them on a tour of the Career Center, so we will see you next time. Follow us, share, do all that fun stuff. See you guys.